I am Safia, your science teacher. Today we are going to continue the lesson Our Earth, Its Neighbors. So in the last video we have discussed about the sky universe and in which galaxy do we live. We have discussed everything about that and we have also seen the planets and the details about the planets which were given. Now let us know more about our Earth. So Earth is a planet on which it is only a planet on which life exists because of its correct temperature, presence of oxygen, atmospheric blanket and as well as because of water. And not only that, let us see how this Earth has been formed. Earth has been formed many millions of years ago. So this Earth contains all planets, mountains, valleys, plains, lakes, rivers, oceans, human beings, animals, etc. It has all these things in it. And when this Earth has born, actually it was a ball hot gases. It was a ball of hot gases. So when it formed, it has started spinning. So it was going on spinning and spinning, spinning and spinning. As it spun, what happened? The outer layer of the Earth has become hard. It has become hard and cool. It has become hard and cool. First it was burning. First it was a ball of hot gases. But as it was going on spinning, it has become hard and cool. The outer surface has become cool. But the inner surface of the Earth is still hot. Earth is divided into three surfaces that are first outer surface is called as the crust. The inner surface, the center surface is called as the mantle. And the inner surface is called as the core. So crust is the outer layer where we are standing, where we are surviving is the crust. And the last inner layer is the core. Core is again the outer core and in the core. Core is having molten liquids and all the gases are present in the core. And in the mantle, there are the rocks and the many mountains are present in the mantle. So crust, mantle and core are the three different layers of our Earth. So this crust looks very even, but here mantle has mountains and here core has a liquid molten lava, I can say. So here as this core and mantle are present here, this crust will be applied because of pressure, because of high pressure. The liquids present in the core area and in the mantle will be coming out there. Because of that, the gases in mantle mountains are present, in core liquid and as well as the gases are present here. So because of the pressure applied by the crust and mantle, the core will be the gases and the liquid want to come out of it, and they will come out at where the surface of the Earth in the crust layer which is weak. For example, if this layer is weak, from here because of the high pressure and all, that liquid and gases will come out of it, and these things which are coming out are called as volcano. Whenever the gas and molten things will be coming out, that will be resulting in the volcano. So volcano will be taking place, that is nothing but the liquids present in the layers of the Earth. So volcanoes can be of three types. One is volcano which can erupt regularly, which will erupt regularly, and other kind of volcano which will erupt for longer time. And the volcano which hadn't erupted up to yet, that is a type of volcano. It is called as extinct volcano. For example, if volcano will take place regularly, then it is called as active volcano. If it will take place for many years and years, Okay, then it is called as dormant volcano. And if the volcanoes will not take place for many years and years, then finally we can decide, or we can say that volcanoes have been extincted. Okay, so next one, this was about the earth. So now if you see the earth is like a half-boiled egg. How half-boiled egg will be same in the same way our earth is also present. So now let us see how movement of the earth, how we are getting day and night, how we are getting years. So as we know earth, okay, it is having an imaginary line. Earth is present here, it has axis. The axis of the earth is tilted. Tilted means cross. It is little cross. The axis of the earth is cross. This axis is dividing the earth into halves. And not only that, it is an imaginary line. This axis is a imaginary line which is tilted. And but there is one more imaginary line which is coming across the globe or across the earth. It is called as equator. Equator is dividing the earth into two equal halves, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. And this tilted axis is dividing the earth into two different poles, north pole and south pole. So because of the movement of the earth, we can get day and night and as well as the years and seasons. You know, if you see the earth, it looks like it is standing at the same position. It is not at all moving. But if you see the earth, if you see it or if you observe it carefully, and according to the point of view of scientists, the earth is in two types of movements. First movement is rotation. So earth will be moving on its axis. Movement of earth on its own axis is called as rotation. Have you ever seen a top? You know top? Small people will be playing that too, you will say. Kids will be playing with that. So how it will be rotating? On its own axis, it will rotate like this, like this, like this. That is how earth will also rotate on its own axis. And this movement is called as rotation. First of all, earth as it is moving on its own axis, it causes day and night. So, for example, if here is the earth, right? Here is the sun. So, earth is revolving around the sun. So, what happens here? This part of the earth which is near the sun, so this part we are getting day. And this part of the sun, this part of the earth which is away from the sun, here it will be night. Again the earth is moving here. So because of that here, again what happens, this side, as it is near the sun, it is day, and the other side is the night. So the side of the earth which is near the sun, they will experience the day, and the side which is away from the sun, they will be experiencing the night. So this is how days and nights are caused. Days and nights are caused because of the rotation of the earth. This is the one movement, and there is one more movement that is called as revolution. As I said, planets will revolve around the sun on their own axis. So here, this is the orbit, right? This is the orbit on which this earth will be revolving around the sun. So what happens here, this earth will be moving, rotating, and along with its rotation, it is moving forward. It is taking the circles of the sun. That is called as revolution. Both it will forming rotations only, it will be moving forward. That is revolution. Because of revolutions only days will take place. So to complete one revolution, the earth will take 365 and 1/4 days. That means 365 days. So to complete one revolution, earth will take 365 days, and this period is called as solar year. In the same way, to complete one rotation, the earth will take 24 hours. That we consider as the one day. Okay, we have seen the two topics till now, that is the earth, movements of the earth. Now seasons of the earth. So as the earth orbits around the sun, the longer days of the summer will be changing into the shorter days of the winter. In the same way, the temperature of the day and night will be depending on the movement of the earth around the sun. Based on that only there will be change in the season. The seasons will change from summer to winter, winter to autumn, spring, etc. In this way again we can see the cycle of seasons. So as we already know, the axis of the earth is tilted at an angle. So if this is the earth, the axis of the earth is little tilted at certain angle. So because of this tilt, this northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere is not going to have same seasons. So northern hemisphere, if it is near the sun, then they will be getting the summer season, and the southern hemisphere which is away from the sun will be having winter season, and vice versa. And if southern hemisphere is near the sun, then for southern hemisphere it will be summer. If the northern hemisphere is far from the sun, then for northern hemisphere it is the winter. So this is how the seasons are present on the earth. Now let us see how are seasons formed. How are seasons formed? Formation of seasons takes place because of the movement of the earth, because of revolution. When the North Pole is towards the sun, so the days are longer here, and as the sun rays directly fall on that days, it will be summer season. And as South Pole is towards, it is away from the sun, there will be not much daylight. So that side it will be winter season. Again, when the North Pole is away from the sun, so that means North Pole is away from the sun. So South Pole is near to the sun. So North Pole will be having winter season and South Pole will be having summer season. So when North Pole is near the earth, near the sun, it is summer season for them. And when North Pole is away from the sun, it is winter season for them. So when North Pole is, now South Pole, when South Pole is near the sun, it is summer season for them. When South Pole is away from the sun, it is winter season. That means North Pole, when it is near, then it will be summer for it. And when South Pole is away, then it is winter for this. Now changes here. North Pole will be away, so that means North Pole is getting winter season. And now South Pole is near, that means it is going to get summer season. So this is how days will be forming, that is because of the movement of earth around the sun. This was about the poles, north and south pole, but you see the region that is at the equatorial region. At that place it will get correct sunlight. So that means in this area the day will be of 12 hours and the night will be of 12 hours. There will not be any difference like the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So that why there is a difference in the north and south pole, why their seasons will not be same in the northern and the southern hemisphere. The reason is the tilted axis, because the axis of the earth is tilted, and as well as the revolution of the earth. So as the axis is tilted and as the distance is also more, that's why the seasons are different. If not, if the axis was correct, if it is not tilted, then the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere used to get the correct seasons, they used to get the correct day and night also. Next one, festivals. Here festivals and the heavenly bodies. Here festivals are depending on the heavenly bodies. Maybe you have seen in the diary or in the calendar, you can see that Eid-ul Fitr or Eid-ul Azha, there the marking will be given as depends upon the moon. That means according to Islamic calendar, Muslims will follow the Islamic calendar to celebrate any of the festivals. So it depends on the moon. If we get the moon side today, then tomorrow will be the Eid-ul Fitr. If today there is no moon side, that means tomorrow again fasting will be. So the many or maximum every once year the festivals are depending on the moon. It depends on the phases of the moon. So here festivals are related to the heavenly bodies. So not only that, here festivals, some of the festivals are depending on the seasons also, like Baisakhi and as well as the Pongal, Ugadi, Bihu, all these are the festivals related to the seasons. As the season starts, these people will be celebrating, different people will be celebrating these kind of festivals. So there is a relation between the festivals and the heavenly bodies. Today I said that the scientists, they have given the names of the planets based on the gods of Rome and Greece. Like Mars means nothing but the god of war. So based on that they gave that name only, because and as well as it is red in color. And in the same way, the people have given the names of the week based on their spiritual thinking and based on the heavenly bodies. For example, Shanivar. Shanivar means it is Shani. Shani means what? Saturn. In the same way, they have given one more day, that is Somvar. That means moon. So means moon. So based on the heavenly bodies, the people have given the names of different days in a week. The worksheet is you have to write what is rotation, names of Indian festivals linked to the seasons. Just now I have said you have to listen to it and write this. Dash is a natural satellite of the earth. What is a natural satellite of the earth? And then the movement of the earth around the sun is called. What is a movement? There are two types of movements, right? One is around its own axis and one is revolving around the sun. What is that? We have to think and write. I hope everyone is understanding what I am explaining you students. So go through the videos thoroughly and properly and follow the instructions. Listen to it carefully and read the worksheets and read the notes and complete your worksheets properly. Thank you. Bye-bye.